We're waiting for Andy to get ready.
You're live.
Let's do it. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen. I'll do these ones.
Yes, you will do those ones.
Matthew Bergeron, 17682. Charles Fitzgerald, 5112. Maria Folsom, $30.68. Timothy Lindeman's $446.23, and Kristen Pash is $497.80. Rich Sawyer is $1,793, and Chad South is $25.56 for a total of $2,929.14. Okay, that's good.
No, it's all messed up already.
Yeah.
Okay, let me give you two. Give you three. Thanks. Tell me where, do we need to do the ACH?
Yeah.
Bill's not here, so I'm gonna spit it out real quick.
Go right ahead.
ACH payment of $220,265 for the first half for October 2020. And then we have another payment, $715,570.
To who?
Co-op.
That's for
Co-op.
the co-op. There's those. And when you're ready, I'll start reading the checks.
Good.
Andrea Bickham, $636.14. Joseph Bird, $923.64. Katie Blasick Ahern, $600.89. Kendra Brackett's $524.21. John Bryant is $543.03. Gabriel Burgess Labonte is $187.84. Karen Clements, $1,098.37. Jeffrey Collins is $725.86. Charlene Confaloni is $20.45. Katie Coppola is $191.17. Eli Corson is $54.79. Keith Culligan is $449.73. Alyssa Sanuski is $528.25. Edwin Decatur III is $82.79. Kiki Dennis Wall is $685.78. Robert Gagnon is $292.09. Jason Gagnon is $65.80. Shayla Gherkin is $87.73. Jason Grant is $542.33. Andrew Gray is $508.14. Lily Grodzinski is $52.64. Mary Lyons Hall is $199.48. John Isabel is $137.14. Kip Kaiser is $1,261.54. Joyce Keegle is $533.32. Matthew Kelly is $805.93. Erica Kenyon is $90.69. William Kenyon is $63.48. Peter King is $34.26. Kevin Nealand is $822.64. Albert Kazaka is $373.02. Julie Labonte is $1,229.45. Timothy Labonte is $430.58. Sawyer Marquis is $25.39. Olivia Matthews is $183.11. Aaron Mitchell is $149.59. Sarah Parkhurst is $726.82. Nathan Richards is $317.71. Wayne Robinson is $946.12. Stephen Forza is $818.19. Thomas, I'm gonna mess this one up. Soda Karopoulos is $323.22. Chris Spitaleri is $1,363.34. Katrina Tennant is $579.69. Josh Turner is $541.04. Dan Wicks is $1,342.79. James Weirs is $779.19. Jeremy Worcester is $1,274.82. Daphne Wass is $711.27. Jared Wright Ward is $895.21.
Total of $25,760.78.
We have a grand total of $28,689.84.
Tell me when you're ready.
Go.
PSAP landscaping is $3,000. $750, Boundtree Medical's $35.94, Comcast is $258.43, Keith Culligan is $17.98, East Coast Emergency Outfitters $378, Eversource $17.97, Industrial Protection Services $900 even, Kevin Nealon is $120 even, Julie Labonte is $81.52, Mary E. Bartlett Library is $19,583.33, McFarland Ford Sales is $6,977.67. James Michaud Consulting is $2,000 even. National Record Services is $1,032.91. Heather Worski is $1,054.72. Treasurer State of New Hampshire is $153.98. Positive Promotions is $784.79. Rockingham County Registry is $26.78. State of New Hampshire Department of Safety is $48.25. Stratum Tires $841.06. Superior Fire Protection is $215.59. Total notice is $700 even. Tritech Software Systems $3,150. Valak is $186.45. WB Mason is $137.
We had a total of 25 and a half hours for the PD for shift coverage and 2 hours for the highway.
The total of all those, that Bob just read off was $42,452.37. Karen, do you know what some, like industrial protection services, do you know what that is?
It's for the fire department. It's equipment.
It was maintenance to a 10 horsepower pump.
And then who got towed? Was it the highway vehicle? That $1,200?
We got paid twice a day.
Twice in this period?
National was
That's probably got one invoice.
an inspection, a fire truck inspection and exhaust repair, an inspection,
Wayne had all the vehicles done.
These are all fire
Oh,
vehicles.
fire?
And the heavy equipment trucks are 135 apiece.
So, just for my education, is all of this stuff is obviously coming out of the fire department's budget, and, you know, I'm just asking these questions because I'm trying to wrap my head around it, because I know we're going into budget season, so that, the fire department has certain line items and you pull it from certain line items, or they tell you?
They submit a voucher to us that says.
Can I
which
see that
line
stuff,
item
John?
they want to spend the funds from.
Okay.
So,
And so who verifies that they are staying within their budget?
So they can.
That was a deer in the headlights look I've ever seen.
so the line item, it gets stamped of where they want it to come from.
Okay.
That's obviously, or this is the fire account.
Okay, and then this is the specific line item?
Yep.
So,
603.
okay. It's helpful. Thank you, sorry for the interruption.
And at any time we're reading those checks, if you, when Jeff Bryant was here, we used to do that a lot, is we'd stop and be like, what's that for?
Yeah.
So if something like hits you, like you're like, that seems kind of odd, you can always just ask what it is, and then we'll just stop and then have a discussion about it.
Okay, thank you.
Because if you're confused, people in the public are confused too.
It's up to the department head to make sure that they don't overspend their bottom line. So once
Right.
a month, Sarah will send a budget report to the department heads so that they can verify that they're on track. I'll do a report up and I'll say this is where you should be at in your budget, and then it's up to them to monitor their bottom line.
And usually once a quarter, she sends us a copy.
So what happens, does it do line items go over from time to time?
Line items are allowed to go over, but a department's not to overexpend their bottom line. So Joe can overexpend his vehicle repair line by $2,500, but he's gotta offset it by something else, as long as he doesn't overexpend his $480,000 budget.
And what happens if, in the case that does happen?
Then it would be up to the selectmen to approve him to either go over or to authorize a transfer of funds from a different budget to the fire budget to
balance it.
to balance it.
I guess where I'm going, okay, and let's say,
And face disciplinary action.
got it.
Yeah, because when their budget was approved, they have to stay within that budget. If they overspend on that budget, then that's problematic, and then we have to manage that.
However, there are circumstances where things could happen that are out of the control of the individual department.
And they have to do it.
They have to do it, so we look at
And then
the
we-
total bottom line.
Got it.
Come on, Joyce.
And my job is to manage the money as you tell me to, not to verify budgets.
She doesn't verify budgets, but she does make sure it comes out of the right
Just to
account.
be clear.
Right.
She makes sure it gets paid.
Treasurer's report. Previous balance, $4,518,307.37. The deposits were $62,720.69. Our payroll was $28,689.84. Payroll taxes, $6,898.87. I transferred to impact fees, $9,386. The AP is $978,287.37. With payments to Swayze in the co-op this week, the account balance is $3,557,765.98. With interest earned year to date, $1,743.05.
Karen, do you keep one for John? That's an extra.
Make a motion for the minutes.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
All right. Make a motion for non-public.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Or just do Wayne since he's here, or after building permits?
Yes, nice suggestion, thank you.
New Heights property, 60 Middle Road, demo a 12 by 15 porch, 12 by 24 second floor roof, and 4-foot sidewalk and kitchen. John Morgan, 51 Lake Road, a solar permit.
Wait, do we have to check?
I don't even know this stuff is coming, this is as much as,
Well, we'll take cash.
oh, well, you can ask whoever submitted it.
It's probably done online and not getting paid online.
Christopher Cooper, 2782 South Road, minor project to re-roof and replace
Don't sign that one.
doors. McLaughlin Family Trust, 21 Mill Pond Road, electrical permit. DNH Realty Trust, 388 Route 125, plumbing to install 4 sinks and 4 toilets. Nathaniel Keener, 22 Parsley Lane, electrical to wire a new 3-season porch. Gregory Plum Toys, 14 Homestead Lane, minor permit to rip and reshingle asphalt roof. Karen Tellier, 55 Prescott Road, minor project to renovate full bathroom on first floor. And Ryan Dutron, 41 Eleanor's Way, for an in-ground pool with patio.
Definitely pool season.
We've had our seated.
Yes. Congratulations.
My children do tell me. I asked them if they want to pay for it.
For what?
To have our pool rewired so we can put it in here.
Solar heater.
My husband said that was fun.
Yeah, no pools. I can bring Arlo over, he loves jumping in pools. If you have a liner, he'll take care of that for you. Time to come out for the ball.
Wayne, why don't you pull the chair up so we don't have to yell at you?
But we can't pull the chair up because I need that one.
He has a chair right there.
He can talk into this one.
Oh, okay.
It's my meeting. Go ahead.
Maybe.
Be nice.
Okay, I just wanted to come in and find out about this new building. If we gonna be able to get the new building, start something on the new building.
Yeah, we can probably start putting it out to bid. Problem that you're gonna run into is, I mean, material costs are starting to come back down. Problem is trying to find a contractor.
But we gotta figure out what we want too.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I thought we had some plans.
We did, but then we
Scrapped it.
talked about doing a pole barn because all we need to do is have something to put equipment in. We don't really need what it was planned out to be.
No, but we do want a bathroom, we want an office. And the current office will probably be used as a tool bin or something.
Well, do
It's
you want or
not-
does he want?
We spoke to him,
Yeah, well, that, what we're looking for is a 50 by 100. To make it big enough to put the trucks in there, and it'll make it big enough to put an office, a bigger office in there. Because if we use, we're gonna use the old building basically to work on trucks. And we're also gonna need in there, we're gonna need a more of a place to put tools. Tools are everywhere. And, well, our main tools are in underneath, but that, if you go down and see that thing is packed full. You walk in there and you got the bores in there, you got air tanks in there, the torches in there, and you got the chainsaws all in there. So when you go in there, you're walking all over everything to try to get something. And
when they drop a lug nut, it goes down through the drains.
right.
I got to see that happen firsthand.
So if we got the upstairs, that's where all our office stuff is right now. And so what we figuring that we could put the hand tools and all that stuff upstairs. It'd be good, and then put they would want all the regular tools down, you know, in the drawers and stuff, and, cause we need to get a few of those too, because the tools are all over the place.
You could probably actually build a bigger room downstairs.
Yeah,
as well.
and we could do that without them trucks in there. We could add on the bottom and come out farther down and inside the building to do that when that happens.
Now, do you think they would attach it to the old building, or would you just have it freestanding?
No, I'll tell you what I'd like to do, and I think, I don't know the name of the guy that did the, down on Deer Hill Road last summer, he built that barn for the guy that has a big, all in great, big horses there. He built the barn, I think it was Morton Builders.
Yeah, the Morton.
Morton Builders. Todd Bradshaw he was actually doing a job down there, but he got a hold of that guy there, and those guys make a building just like we have.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, if you could get a building to similar, just almost the same as what we have down there, about a 50 by 100, and get a price of what it would cost to put that up. Now, we also have a guy right here in town has been after us, if we wanted to do any cement work, he does that, he lives right here in town. Jeff knows him better than I do, I've seen him around town, but he lives right here in town, and he said if we ever need any cement work, come and see him. And if we could put, if we can get it so that if the price of the building is down, and get the cement work done, put like the 4-foot walls that we have in the floor, in the thing. I don't know what the state would make us do if we gotta put a underground drains in the bays. We have to do it in that building. That building has it. And we have to put the underground bays, so when you back the trucks in, any water goes in, or any grease or anything goes in those tanks. They're right in the floor, but they've been there for 20 years, and I haven't had to pump them out or nothing, even the water. And never done any, it never filled up that much, and we still haven't pumped them out. So, and they're not full. So,
I was thinking, excuse
I
me,
mean, we could get a price for all that and see which way we wanna go at that point.
I would think your best bet is to look at like those general steel buildings, the Morton building, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Cause it's really basically like a airplane hangar is basically what you're looking for, open
Yeah.
up the bays and let it in there. How many garage doors do you think you would need?
just two, one on each end.
And what
Just
about the other side of the building?
Just like we have, we can put one on the, we could put the, front, one door right there on the front with a small front door,
Man
to
door?
walk in,
Yeah.
and then another one down the other end, plenty of room.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could probably reach out to, problem is how long what's the wait?
Yeah,
that's the hardest time, and the hardest thing right now is trying to find the labor to get the contractors to do it.
Well, I don't think that there's a feasible chance of doing anything before spring or summer of next year.
I mean, right now,
Oh, no. we
getting a
wouldn't do it.
contractor, most of the contracts I'm starting to see are going out
We just-
18 months.
We just find prices and try to get it together right now, cause winter's coming on, and then get it so it's ready for.
We already have the money in the budget for that. so-
Yeah, that's the other thing, we can go by whatever we got for money now and see make sure we can afford to do it.
So, I guess my biggest question about this is, you know, the town has grown a lot in the last 5 years. And projections are just regionally, we're gonna continue, we're not shrinking anytime soon. And so, is this 50 by 100 building for the trucks, and, you know, your workforce, is that what we need for today? Or, you know, what are we gonna need 5 years from now, is kind of where, cause I don't wanna have to have the town build another building in a couple of years, cause we are growing so fast.
How many trucks can you fit in the 50 by 100 building?
Right now, we got six, probably, you ought to be able to put, probably, 7 or 8 trucks in there.
Including an office
Plus
and
I mean.
bathrooms and,
Yeah,
So you'll have room to expand.
plus all worst comes to worst, you could still put some trucks in
Current
another
building.
building, that's,
well, the idea is to build a building and not
I mean, if it
have the,
comes down, we still can put equipment back in that building we have now.
Well, the little building was good enough for 25 years, so
Yeah, we did.
what he's
well,
talking
not
about.
really, because we've been talking about a building for,
5 years, I know.
But the rate of growth in town has,
We've had
Has
four,
been-
during the winter time, we can put four big trucks with the plows and the wings in there and the 2 small trucks.
Currently,
We've done
Currently.
that.
and what size building is that?
What's that?
What-
That's a 40 by 80.
so you must do 50, 100. He's got 6
That's not big
vehicles.
enough.
He's got 6 vehicles right now, and you're putting how many in there right now?
4. You
No.
can fit 4 in a winter with wings and plows.
No, he just said 4 big ones and 2 small ones,
Right,
Yeah,
currently.
that's what we can put in that building right now.
but you can't walk, it's not safe.
No, you can't walk.
I've done it, I know what you're talking about.
So, if we're gonna build a building, we need to build a building that's safe and is gonna last us.
So maybe a 50 by 120 is what you're thinking? Add another 20 feet, I could put 2 huge vehicles in that.
Right.
Why doesn't Kip work with Wayne and come up with some measurements on equipment that we have and what?
Yeah. If I get Morton down
Just
there, we can
project.
tell him what
I'd
we're
like
up
to see a
against,
projection.
and he can suggest it.
Probably 2 more trucks than we already have,
Yeah.
2 more 10 wheels
Yeah.
with wings and plows.
so Karen, I think that's what I would really like to see is Wayne work with Kip. What do we have, in terms of capacity and also, you know, storage needs, and then what projected out, right, based on current growth rates, what are we looking at for needs 10 years out?
I don't think we should be talking all about that right now. We should develop a committee and have a selectman on the committee along with Wayne and a citizen or 2 and a builder if
Which I
necessary.
thought we already kind of,
Well, we talked about it, but nothing's happened.
But why not with just, I mean,
That's-
why put all the red tape in front of it, just have Kip and Wayne sit down and work
No,
on it?
there's no red tape. It's the right thing to do to have a committee, because then we have a multiple of disciplines to assist in doing it.
because we already had the plans done,
Yeah, but those plans are out the window because of,
we're doing different.
The plan was for a 2-story building
That's
that had
correct.
office space above it.
Right.
because the original building that was suggested was maybe a police department as part of the building, but that went away because of access and et cetera.
Yeah.
So we gotta come up with a committee, that's number one.
I would like to just doing pricing out what a 50 by 120 would be, personally,
Yeah, that's a place to start, I agree.
because we already know how much we have. If we do 120, that gives us 2 extra vehicles. If he's only got 6 now, that gives us plenty of space to expand for at least the next 15 years.
I figure I'll be dead after 10, so I'm not worried.
Well, these, we're probably not gonna get these trucks again, I hope not, since they keep breaking.
I hope not.
Go get
Does your
a
bathroom need a
Bobcat first.
What's that?
Does your bathroom need a shower?
Yes,
Not
A
yet.
locker room?
It would be good to have one.
should have 2, a male and female.
And,
And locker rooms?
and it probably needs an eye wash station.
Oh, God.
We have that.
Yeah, you just hang that on the wall.
We have one now in the other one.
Yeah, but you're gonna need that in the new building
No
too,
building.
just to comply with
And
code.
then
and
to
this.
move the gas and diesel, or are you going?
I think this is minutia. I think we should move
What's
ahead
Are you
with
gonna
the
have to
committee.
move the gas and diesel?
No, we went,
You'll leave them
no,
there?
because the building's going way over, the other building's going way over.
You're gonna have space
Wouldn't
between
have
the
to do
2
with
buildings.
that unless you wanna put in bigger tanks. If you put in a regular station somewhere. But, bigger, they're only 500 gallon tanks, so the more vehicles you got, you might wanna put bigger tanks in there somewhere, but we could make out another place to, you got town land, you could make another place for it.
Fill station.
Fill-up station.
How high?
Oh, what?
Wouldn't be too
How
high.
tall?
If I was gonna be doing that, I'd probably be looking at,
25?
yeah, I was gonna say 20 minimally, so 24, 25, probably right. Cause I gotta worry about the height of these trucks.
Right.
What was the reasoning, the rationale for not putting the police station in with this? I mean, if we're gonna be, I'm just hearing like showers and locker rooms and,
No.
Well, you wouldn't be able to have a joint shower and locker room.
no, I agree, but,
The idea was second floor, because now you have to build, you don't want to be trying to put a prisoner up a flight of stairs.
for sure. But I'm just wondering if, I'm confusing things.
One reason we,
Wayne was chief and road agent.
Look, I was just thinking, it's on Middle Road, it's literally in the middle of the town.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, we're building a building anyway, it seems, and we're gonna put a committee together.
Well, first of all, 6 out of 7 police officers thought it was a terrible idea.
the other reason
He was the only one that
was
liked the idea.
safety wise, because if they're coming in with all these plow vehicles, and then you got all the cruisers going in there,
It's fair.
Yeah, you don't have room enough.
it's gonna be crazy dangerous just driving those, and then we have enough people that go down to the police station. We can't really have the public kind of driving in there when we got all these trucks coming in there that are so big with plows.
Yeah, you wouldn't wanna put that together, cause you really ain't got the room, you've got trucks coming in, especially in the wintertime.
Yeah.
You would have the cruisers coming in and out, the trucks going in and.
No, that's fair, I just don't want this
Congestion.
to, I just don't want this to,
Redundancy,
I just don't wanna put the police station off, anymore than we, that's all. I'm mixing issues that don't need to be mixed.
yeah, the police committee, just to kind of throw that into there right now, we've agreed to pause until we get the police chief.
That's fair.
So we said, let's pause before we continue to say what we want, because we don't know what the new guy is or girl is gonna want, so we're pausing.
Do you want a committee or do you not want a committee?
Well, I think a committee is absolutely necessary. Because the input from the citizens, I think, is very important. If we have their agreement, I think it makes life much easier.
I think it's a fairly straightforward building.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about the building, I'm talking about the process. What does that mean?
To me, I just think,
You disagree?
we have the money there, we know what size building we want, I just need a proposal, and
Okay,
I need somebody willing and able to build it. He doesn't need anything,
I've scratched my
Really?
notes, the committee
he
is
doesn't
out.
need anything really elaborate, he just needs somebody to go,
Well, we see how we make out with Morton. I don't know if there's any other one around, there used to be, but I don't know now, but if we get an idea from Morton, we ain't gotta worry about building, because that's what they're gonna
That's
do.
what they do, okay.
They'll come out and lay this whole thing out, that's what they did to that barn down there.
Mhm.
They laid everything out, they told them what they were looking for, and they come down, laid it out, and they built the whole thing.
We're gonna get multiple quotes, right?
We'll do a formal RFP.
yeah.
So we already have the framework for it, because we've already done it before.
Okay.
And Kip already knows what needs to be done for electrical and everything else, because we already walked that whole site, so. And,
Yeah, we
you know,
got,
I'm willing to come down there and meet with you guys and walk it too, so.
gotta put the electrical down back there. Those lights that we put in down there, they're already made to remove them, because that's the way the building is gonna go. He set it up, I forgot his name now, but he set it up and when we get ready to do, we can move those lights, because that's the way it's made,
Yeah, they were meant to be relocated somewhere else, because we knew the building was gonna come into play where that is, so.
But you're still gonna need lighting in there, and,
lighting, yeah.
And they have,
but the old building's staying, it's not like waiting.
the old building's staying, and there's a space, and then I know, that was why we put the sand and salt buildings where we put them, because we knew we could only do so much in this area.
Right.
And it's all sand down there.
I mean, they might even recommend doing a 60 by 100 to add you 10 feet, the 100 length, and that would be another thing too that we could look at. So you're not restricted to doing 50 by 100, you could do a 60, 50 by 120, or you can do maybe even a 60 by 100, depends on what their sizes come in. And the good thing is if we actually go 60 feet deep, your roof pitch will be a little bit higher, so you'll be able to get different things in that way too.
Yeah, it shouldn't-
So, we're gonna put a note in the website looking for volunteers to assist Wayne.
Okay.
I guess the idea of a committee is out, which is okay with me. But, maybe we could just draw on Jeff Bryant's knowledge of the construction industry.
Yeah, he come out and laid it out back on, way back. He came down.
Yeah, like 4 years ago.
And he built 2 steel buildings.
He did, yeah.
He
And
just
he
put
might
up-
have some great, he might have some
he
builders
just
that
put
can
up
do
a
it.
big one at his house. Yeah.
Oh, is his steel too?
I think that's probably out of your budget.
He put 64,000 into just his roof.
Yeah, he just put up a
He
big.
put a slate roof on his house.
I call
Slate,
it
house or the
Dallas.
barn?
Yeah.
His house, he put a slate roof on for 64,000.
Fancy man cave.
But that's his profession.
I got that quoted out for the house. We didn't go in that direction.
You didn't go that direction with slate roof?
I can understand.
You'll never have to replace it ever again in your lifetime.
Anything else, sir?
Yeah, I got a call from SAU 16 today about closing down Mill Road. I said, I don't know anything about it. Do you guys know anything about the road being closed?
Madam School Board Member, do you know anything about this?
Nope. That project's on hold until spring.
Well, I said.
Well, that's
I
a
didn't
state
know if they
highway,
were
so I
gonna
don't think
start
we-
working on
Mill Road?
down the bridge, but
That was the bridge.
Oh, Middle Road, I'm thinking, I'm sorry.
yeah, this Mill Road.
No, we're
Bill.
not touching that right now because we couldn't get to anything until,
Okay, I'll
We
call
gotta wait.
back and say we're not closing it then, because they were worried about what they're gonna do with how to get through the other buses.
Carol, have you started any rumors about the dam of the bridge?
I think we talked about that last year.
Not a word.
They're a little late.
I
Is
just
it-
hate to look at that river.
Is there a weight restriction on the bridge?
15 ton, yeah,
What's the bus weigh?
I don't think.
I don't know, but they would be exempt from that rule anyway, wouldn't they?
Do you think it would be
I
more
mean,
than
it's not,
15
I
ton?
don't
I
think
mean,
so.
there's no way. I mean, you figure
30,000 pounds? I would-
60 kids, max 100 pounds apiece. So, I mean, they're not gonna hit that at all.
I don't think there's 60 kids on there.
Yeah, true. Yeah, and the buses aren't full because most of the people drive them, so. And then the bus, I mean, maybe max 3 tons on a bus, maybe, max? I mean, how heavy are your
They're
trucks?
not- They're not,
They're a shell,
they're fine.
so
25,000
25,000 pounds?
is the GVW school bus.
Oh, so then it would exceed it if it was posted.
It is definitely posted 15 ton.
Yes, it is.
I saw it yesterday, Carol.
Yes, you did. I see it every day.
Well, when they come down and work on it, they weren't gonna do anything up there with the bridge of the road anyway, were they? They're just gonna do the under, down
They're,
by the,
they're sleeving it for the most part.
Yeah. Well, there might be some interruption where, you know, might have to have a traffic officer out there.
Oh.
but nothing.
Well, we can just close the road, I mean,
We
it's
just
not hard to
closed
go
right at
around.
the bridge.
I'm sorry?
It's not hard to go around, it's an extra.
No, it really isn't.
Mile.
No.
No,
There's ways for everybody to get out.
Yes.
On either side. Cause I can go left and Gordon's area can go right.
yeah,
And they're all gonna come out to 107 or 111.
Right.
just have to close it right there at the bridge. That's
But we aren't planning on doing anything this year anyway, so.
Okay,
Okay.
all right, that's it.
You don't wanna talk about salt?
Oh, the salt, I haven't got the price yet.
Okay.
I'm waiting, still waiting for Morton Salt Days. They're still looking for the price for the cells to let us know.
Oh, really? Still have it?
They don't
It's
have
out
it.
on the boat someplace in the Atlantic.
They don't have, we got a hold of them last week.
They hope.
and, They don't have the price yet.
Well, if it goes back into the ocean, it's salt water.
They don't have the price yet, so.
Well, thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good week.
Yep.
Let's do the notes.
Let's.
Thank you for agreeing for a change. It's really enlightening. Sir, you sent out a notice looking for volunteers for the Economic Committee?
I did.
Okay.
Let me read to you the names that I have so far, and I'm gonna review them with the planning board on Thursday. And then come back to you with suggestions for forming the committee on the following. Have to find the correct.
I know it was coming up, but I didn't. Wait for them to do
And you're gonna bring to them too, not to throw something else into there, you're gonna bring to them about the Smith Road thing,
Oh,
to
yeah.
the planning board?
What's, wait, on the economic volunteer?
Okay. I got 50 million things that run through my head.
Okay, so,
Beat the hamster.
I mean, this is just, I'm happy to share, most of these are just like one-liner, I'm interested, and one person wrote kind of a substantive why I'm interested and provided their CV. That person was Stephanie Beaver, Stephanie with an F, and I believe she is relatively new to town. Brandon with an O, Stover,
Okay,
Robert Span,
yeah.
Bob Rossman, Derek Butts, and Patrick Farrell have all
Is that your neighbor?
emailed my account, my Brentwood account, like I asked, and there was one other person who said they were interested, but in the commercial real estate space on Facebook, but I haven't received an email from her. Deanna, I think, just going with memory. And then Darren Winham, just update on Darren's involvement. He is going to, with our approval, with the whole committee, with the whole select board's approval, will advise us in an advisory, voluntary capacity, but be an official advisor for the Economic Development Committee for the town of Brentwood. And it is less complicated for him and his professional involvement if he does it that way.
Okay.
Does it go through planning or does it go through us?
However you wanna structure it.
Well, it started in the planning board.
So this was my plan, and I'm not hard and fast on this, but my plan was to review these names with planning board, get their insight or input and recommendations, and then bring that list of people to you as recommended by the planning board
Got it.
for confirmation.
Are you
So
guys
that
gonna
was-
have them, for appointment to it, so are you gonna invite them to the planning board? To have them, and that way the planning board can vet everybody, and then you would bring the
Hadn't-
appointments to us?
I hadn't considered that as an option, just because there are so few names to be.
Yeah, I mean, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 names, how
Yeah.
big of a board do you want?
So in my posting, I had said, and this is the communication I had with Darren, right? I was like, Darren, what am I looking for? And he said, you want someone with legal, someone with commercial real estate, someone with PR. And so that was my Facebook post and the post that we put up on the town website. The only other thing that has come to mind to my mind, outside of those three is a potentially including a local business owner. I think that would be helpful. It doesn't necessarily have to be a business owner of someone with a business in Brentwood per se, but someone with that experience who lives in Brentwood and is vested in this community. And so that's kind of where I was thinking, and I was gonna talk about that with the planning board.
Yeah, then I was gonna say, probably gonna have at least one or two people from the planning board on it, so it just depends on how big of a board do you really want.
Yeah, I mean, it
If you
needs
can
to be, I do not want that.
You wanna have,
I
and then
want-
you have to have an odd number, because if you're voting on stuff,
Correct.
you can't have even, cause then you might be deadlocked.
Well, we could always break the tie. But I like your disciplines. You know, that's an absolute necessary, I think.
Yeah, it's just whether or not you're gonna find them.
Well,
So-
that's
so-
another question.
So let me go back to this. Because this was, it was kind of interesting the way that it has worked itself out so far. So let me start from the bottom. Patrick Farrell has 20 years, I'm going by memory, so if you're listening on the meeting online, I apologize if I didn't get any details incorrect, but I will verify them before I go to planning board. Patrick Farrell has 20 years of pretty significant public relations experience. He has consulted for, I believe, Scotland, Ireland, Australia, and several entities within the U.S. as a
All English-speaking companies, yes.
yeah, and as a as a PR consultant. So I guess where I'm going with this is from someone who doesn't know anything about the specifics or technicalities of PR. Sounds like he knows what he's doing.
Mhm.
He was the only PR applicant so far. Derek Butts, he has a significant amount of experience in sales. Bob Rossman has 20 to 30 years of commercial real estate experience, and like working with municipalities and citing, or finding sites and developing those sites for different commercial ventures. Robert Spann he's a member of the bar in the state of New Hampshire, and he has been practicing law, I don't know how long, but decades. He has been here in Brentwood for the last 5 years, 5 to 10, somewhere in there. He practiced for a long time, I believe, in California. He came from California, and he graduated from Yale Law School, I believe. Brandon Stover is a business owner who lives here in Brentwood, but his business is in Hampton, I believe. And then Stephanie Beaver, I just reviewed it today, and she's the one that sent the detailed message. I'm right here, so I might as well show you, or tell you. She's a full-time project manager and senior project engineer for a civil engineering and consulting firm, and she either has an MBA or is working toward an MBA as well. So she's working toward an MBA, it looks like. She's a professional engineer though.
So that would be 6, and then yourself, 7, I assume you're probably gonna have somebody else from the planning board, if not 2, that would be huge.
Why would you need another person from the planning board? He represents the planning board.
And
Select board,
He's representing the select board, the planning board should have a
planning
representative.
board is gonna need a rep.
Because he's ex officio, he's not really a planning board member.
That's true.
So,
That's a huge committee, if you did all 6.
I don't think that we'll do all 6. I think I'd like to narrow it down a little bit. Definitely those 3 specialties. I think that's an absolute.
You could have alternatives.
we could also have alternatives, and we could have, I like the idea of the business owner, aspect.
My only concern is a lot of times you get people that are like, yeah, I wanna be part of it, and then all of a sudden they fall off. And then
So-
you're losing traction.
That's something that's going to be, like, we're going to meet every 2 weeks, at least, and this is going to be a committee where there are going to be real expectations and real work in between meetings, and, like, those expectations are gonna need to be met, like, that's gonna be a requirement if you're gonna be participating in this committee, because we have very specific objectives that we have to achieve, on a timeline that the committee will agree upon, but will be aggressive. So, I mean, if we're gonna make this happen, we have to actually do something, right?
And that's why you might wanna have alternates, because if
I like
somebody,
the, I
if
really
somebody
like.
falls off,
Yeah,
I have somebody that's already ready in their wings to take over.
I really like the idea of alternates, Bob. So,
Cause then that way you can have you can have a lot of people engaged, but you can still have your core committee. If somebody
Yeah.
falls off, you can say, we're gonna have you,
Can you jump in?
yeah, and you're not playing catch up.
Right.
We
Set
would
the
lose.
expectation for the alternates to attend all of the meetings,
That's good.
even if they're not a voting member.
So that's my update. I'm happy to, thank you for those suggestions. I find those really helpful.
Okay. The library is looking for $3,000 to put use out of the ARPA funds for an independent contractor for custodian services.
So out of the first round of grant funding that we received from the state, we got $236,000. The library is requesting $3,000 to use that to move forward with a contractor to clean the library. Right now, they're sort of managing it themselves in-house.
And is that for now, or is that for 2022?
That was for 2022. I think if they could execute it sooner, they would like to do that. The person that they're looking to hire is $20 an hour. They're anticipating a couple hours a week. It's
What
not-
do we pay?
What do we pay our contractor?
We pay him about $1,300 a month, and he comes 3 times a week to BRC here and the PD. They want to be in the library when the cleaner comes, and his schedule doesn't always line up with when they'll let him come in. They won't allow him in on his own.
Is there a way to put something in the budget but still show that it's being offset by an ARPA fund?
When you increase grants, it would just increase the money by that amount, and the ARPA funds would show on the revenue side. You can't apply the grant money to an expense line.
I'm all in good with it being an ARPA fund, but I think it should
Show in their budget.
show in their budget. You know, kind of like Daphne is in and out with motor vehicle fees, like,
Yeah.
or even Kip. I mean, he shows he has an expense, but then we offset that by revenue.
Is that possible?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll work with Janice and DRA on how to represent that.
So that's a motion.
That's a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. And then if they need some for the last 2 months of,
We'll find it.
I think we have sufficient. The BRC door replacement, the original quote was considerably less, but the updated quote is $14,906.
what was the original quote?
9?
So the original quote back in 2019 was $7,500 to reuse the existing hardware. Then we repriced it in 2020, and the price jumped up to $22,260.
And now we're at 14?
Now we're at 14, so it is
Moved.
11.
15.
And we're doing the 55-45 split with the
Right.
capital reserve fund, so that's fine. I'd second it.
That's a motion. You make the
We have a
motion?
motion and a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Do you know if we'll get that done this year?
I am not sure. I think that would be what we'd like to do, is be able to get that done before winter.
Because I'm concerned with one of the doors down there, it's
Is that 3 doors?
It's
one of the ones in the
Basement.
basement has like metal that actually sticks out at you, which looks at you as you come
I
towards
think
it.
that's the one they already fixed.
Did they?
They fixed the one on the left-hand side already. They used to, we had a spare door downstairs from our door project, because they replaced our door 3 times. So we had an extra door that we just put
Yeah,
there.
I saw it delaminating and I was like, someone's gonna slice a foot open.
While they're doing it, is there any way we can make one of the doors downstairs handicap accessible?
I think that's part of the plan to do that on the right-hand side, to alter that step so that it's easier access.
Way to be on it.
You're the chairperson.
He's gonna read it, I'll sign it.
Notice of promulgation?
That's close.
Okay.
That's why I handed it
It's
up.
the emergency management plan for Secret Station.
Okay, the publication of Brentwood Radiological Emergency Response for Nuclear Facilities Plan represents a concerted effort on the part of the municipal government to provide a mechanism for effectively responding to and recovering from the impact of emergency or incident at Seabrook Station Nuclear Power Plant.
Are you gonna read the whole 100 pages?
No,
No,
I'm just
no.
gonna read this
Oh,
first one
okay.
that we have to sign. The promulgation. Notice of promulgation. The stated purpose of this plan, associated supporting documents and attachments, is to facilitate and deliver municipal resources, including those through mutual aid and state assistance and relief to those affected by such an incident. The adoption of the plan nullifies all previous adopted by this municipality for radiological emergency response for nuclear facilities. The Brentwood Radiological Emergency Response for Nuclear Facilities Plan is adopted effective this day. Do we have a motion to sign this?
Is-
What's been changed?
This is an update that Rick Murphy completed that.
Make a motion.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Yes, second.
Would you like to sign it?
No, so you're the only one.
Is that concerning the cancerous Smith?
I think it's
Well,
just better than a.
We're on the edge of,
Yeah, I know where we are, I'm
If
just
we were-
concerned about that.
you might be okay because you're on the other side.
Last night on the news, they had the whole Seabrook station, and they said that the dome is crumbling
Right.
because it's got cancer. Cancerous cement is what they call it.
The dome has cancerous cement.
Yeah,
In fact,
the reactor dome.
Brentwood's only involvement is past Page's Corner.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's a small
Yeah,
section.
I was the emergency management director a long time ago.
Oh, okay, all right.
I'm just curious about the
I know that.
cancerous cement on the dome.
Nothing to do with us.
Okay, good.
Most of my business is not done.
Okay. We're about to go into non-public, so is there any items from the public? Letty?
Is what we discussed, the non-public stuff?
That's part of it.
That's fine.
Nope.
Wayne?
Oh, did you wanna do budgets?
We gotta do something.
It's coming up.
I-
It's gonna be here before I know it. We already kicked it 2 weeks. Do you wanna wait till, I mean, I'm
Well-
fine waiting till next week, but we have to.
We need
we
a
have to
full board,
guarantee
I
next
think.
week.
There's a lot of major inputs, and I would like to see everybody present.
Is there, I'd like to review, I'd like to prep for some of this, for the budget stuff. Is there stuff that we can review beforehand, for
So,
those of us who haven't done this before?
what would you like to see ahead of time?
I don't know, what am I gonna see when we do this?
Well, we've gone back and forth. You'll have a budget worksheet, and then you'll have, which will line item out what the budget was this year, how much money they spent, and what they're requesting for next year. And then they've asked for, a line item description for each of the expenses, so.
So can I see that?
We don't have that yet.
That's presented to us.
Well, what I wanna talk about is what our expectations are of the department heads. If we wanna hold a straight line budget on expenditures and just concentrate on bringing employees up to average wages around here, whether we wanna give them a little of each, or what are
Find out what the inflation rate is.
Right.
That's coming up.
we need to give the department heads directions on how they're gonna compile their budget.
And then what does the engagement with the budget committee look like in terms, I know that there's been tension before, and
Well, the
with
budget part, excuse me, I'm sorry. The budget committee is responsible for producing a budget. we are responsible for producing a budget. And when it comes to town meeting, it's our budget against their recommendations.
Hopefully we
No,
align.
it's their budget
It's
against
their
our
budget against
recommendations.
theirs, yeah.
We win.
No.
We have
No.
way.
They win
That has not been my experience.
They
We've
win.
always gone with the budget committee number to,
to make life easy.
yes.
Well, this is not gonna be an easy year, I can tell you that.
So, to answer your question,
I can tell you that.
it seems to be greatly improved. The budget committee has spent a lot of time getting to know department heads and what their departments do, and, so they're very engaged.
Okay, so I guess the best way to prepare for these upcoming discussions is to review the current budget and the current expenditures.
Well, you're gonna get that in one sheet of paper for each budget. You're gonna get
It's a big package.
this year's, what they've spent, and what they're looking for, and the difference.
Do you
So
wanna get
can I
that
get
sooner?
it sooner rather than later? I know that whatever, I know we don't have some of it, some of those, but if I could get the, this year's and what they're at.
We
So-
should have each department head's budget a week before we are gonna talk about it, along
One
with,
of the week ahead of time, or like the Thursday before your meeting,
it should be a week.
a week.
So if their budget's due on Tuesday, you should hand it out at the Tuesday prior meeting. Along
So
with
we can
their,
review it.
along with their breakdown of why they're requesting that money.
And the budget slated for next week, I think, is legal and trash. It's
Pretty straightforward, yeah.
Yeah, the contractual.
Have we ever, I'm not proposing this idea, I'm not gonna make a motion, I'm just asking questions.
Motion denied.
That's what I would expect. In terms of cost savings, have we ever looked at, doing like a trash bag program?
Yes,
Okay, is there a cost savings there?
no,
Okay, thank you.
we did the pay-as-you-throw, and, that was looked at when,
Well,
Smeltzer,
Schmaltz's led that initiative. That was
Yeah.
before my time, though.
That was a long
Yeah,
time.
that was a
Wayne
long time
St. Hilaire, who was the select board chair way back when, stood up. The room was 250 people. Asked for, you wanna pay in your taxes or you wanna pay by bag? 2 people stood up and wanted to pay by bag.
That wouldn't be how I would necessarily approach it directly. The way that I was conceiving of it, if there was a cost savings, which if there's not, then I don't care. But if there was a cost savings, I would say, listen, everyone gets 2 bags for every household gets 2 bags for every, you get that. If you get it delivered to your door, that's what you get to use, that's your allotment. If you need more, go to Lindy's, that's it. But if you stay within those 2 bags, which you get for every week, every week, then you're good, no problem. And that's all that, so I'm trying to,
yeah, they did an analysis of it, and it was more complicated because you have to then pay for the bags, make sure they're put on the shelves, get them into stores, so people can buy them. So there was a cost analysis, and I remember it was just wasn't feasible.
The feasibility of what you're talking about is kind of like what some of the other departments do with the other towns, with the roll barrels. All you can put out is what's in that roll barrel, because that's how, it's an automated pickup system.
right,
So you're only allowed 1 roll barrel to be picked up,
and you get it from the town.
yes.
Well, actually, the trash company provides it. Fremont, for instance,
Well, they pay
We'll
for
pay
it,
for it.
they pay for it.
it's part of their contract.
And we
but-
did look at, it's kind of like, I guess like that lawn mowing service that we got. Those are the ranges that we were seeing, it's like, wait a minute, you got 1 here, here, and then way out in the moon. And we were getting similar responses. And we've changed trash companies
Yes, we have.
3 times, 4 times in the last 7 years?
Yeah, we started with Northside Carding, and then we moved to Pinard, and now with Casella for the last, I think we're going into year.
3.
When we got those bids, there was a low of Cassell, and a high of
Waste management.
waste management. I mean, like almost double.
So it's kind of like when we were looking at the lawn mowing, it was like 30,000.
In 93, yeah.
You know, so it just kind of was like, whoa, what's up with this? Of course, we're not gonna go with that one, so.
Sure.
You ought to solicit some comments from the people you interact with on a daily basis. And if you come back with your head on, you're okay.
It's not that I expect something like that to go over particularly well in general, but here's the deal: if you go to the people and say, look, when you're driving up and down the road and you look at and you have 1 or 2 trash bags, and you know the guy next door has 15 trash bags, guess what? That's costing you a lot of money, because like we're
All paid.
collectively paying that bill.
Yeah.
Now, if you and he had to pay the same amount, guess what? Like, now we're talking about it being a fair
Yeah,
system.
and I think we looked at, like, I think they had talked about like dumps, and so there was a lot of stuff that they were looking at.
Well, that's the perfect scenario.
You know, there was,
Ask Wade about all of the TVs and tires that he's picked up,
Oh, I
couches
believe it,
that are in the middle of nowhere.
I believe it.
paint cans.
Yeah, all right, enough said, I just was curious, that's all.
Okay.
You wanted to bring something else up? You looked at me like you wanted a longer
All right,
discussion.
I'm gonna make a motion, we go into non-public in accordance with 91A, 311, A, B, C,
Thank you
D,
for coming.
E, and I. We need roll call.
Second.
Aye.
Aye. Take care.
Thank you.
You have the key?
Good night, Sarah, thank you.